Can we shift to, can you just talk about the diet aspect? Like, what did you eat?
Oh boy. Uh Depends on the country. So when I was in the big one that comes to mind is when I was in Portugal, the Portuguese islands. They had fish every day for some kind of fish or seafood. So it was basically they put us on a diet. They
Mhm.
were like, this is what your lunch is going to be. You come to this cafeteria hall, lunch is going to be some kind of meat or fish, and it was like lobster, squid, fish, whatever, and occasionally a chicken or a beef, and then rice, and then I can't remember if there's one kind of veggie, and then our dessert was an apple or an orange. And that was our diet. And then I think dinners were on our own, but yeah, I think dinners were sometimes some countries include 2 meals a day and some don't, so then you can go to the grocery store and then make whatever you want it for dinner. uh but yeah, the one of the trainers there told me they weighed us every week too, which I didn't like.
Yeah.
And that kind of messed with me mentally because they were trying to say, like, right after we'd lift too, or before we'd lift, they'd like weigh us and be like, oh, you're an extra kilo heavier than last week. Like, you need to lose weight. And I was like, I'm not fat. I'm like, don't you know that muscle weighs more? Like, we are lifting heavier. Do you not want me to lift heavier? I'm eating what you're telling me to eat. So I just like ate a little less and like didn't lift as hard. And then boom, I lost 2 kilos. And they're like, good job. I was like, no, that's not really how it
Yeah.
works.
Like your water weight will fluctuate, like depending on the person,
Yeah.
like 5 pounds or something.
Oh, yeah. I fluctuate a lot from the morning to night.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh boy, that's not good. Poor
Yeah.
girls. Like, I can see why body issues happen and
Yeah.
eating
Like I read
disorders.
Ronda Rousey's biography, and she has some really interesting stuff in there about just struggling with weight cutting and which division she was fighting in, and just that
Oh,
whole
sure.
aspect. So it's, and I mean, obviously, I don't, I'm not a female athlete, so I don't live that experience, but
Right.
it was just illuminating, I'll say. So
Yeah, yeah, I've seen some shows where they talk about how much they have to cut right before they weigh in. I'm like, oh, that sounds horrible.
yeah, and that's like for myself, like I'm into MMA, but I didn't do wrestling growing up, and like I think I would have liked the sport, but I don't think I would have liked dicking around with the weight cutting. Uh,
Sure.
so, but
Yeah.
that's the name of the game. And it's like this is stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that all the girls had the weighing issues, or was it because you're the foreigner, or kind of both?
Yeah, we all had to weigh in, but yeah, they were all like fine with everybody else's weight except for mine. They told me I was like overweight. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and uh, for viewers, like Laurel is still a stick. Like she's
Yeah, I know. I'm 6'4", but I'm like 170. Like I don't weigh that much. But
yeah.
apparently I was overweight there, according to their standards, because everyone's so skinny there.
Mhm.
But there was a couple girls that actually had muscle like toned on their legs. So I was like, well, what about them? They got muscle. Like, don't you know that theirs is gonna weigh more? I don't know.
Yeah.